Welcome to the Moon Manifesting Podcast with Kyra Howearth. Hi, I'm Kyra, business astrologer, moon manifesting mama, author, teacher, and mentor. I teach you how to harness the energy of the moon, stars, and cosmos so you can manifest your dreams and discover a deeper purpose to your life. Hey there, welcome back to the Moon Manifesting Podcast. It's Kyra. So today I'm going to be talking about something that is really quite exciting, and you may have maybe noticed this in your life, but you've never really quite been able to pinpoint why this happens. But I'm going to be talking about 12-year cycles, otherwise known as Jupiter returns. So in this episode, I'm going to be explaining exactly what a Jupiter return is and how to find out what your next Jupiter return will bring for you, as well as, everything that you need to know about this really lucky time of your life, these 12-year cycles. So, I've titled this episode What Every 36-Year-Old Needs to Know, because if you can, do some basic maths here, you'll know that you'll have your first Jupiter return at 12, then you'll have another one at 24, and another one at 36, and then 48, and 60, and so forth in multiples of 12. So every 12 years, what will happen is Jupiter, which is the planet of growth, luck, and abundance and expansion, Jupiter takes about 12 years to go right around the zodiac wheel and come back to the position that it was when you were born. So when you're around 12 years old, Jupiter will come back to the same position of where it was when you were born, which is going to start off this new 12-year cycle. So every 12 years, we have this opportunity to open a new chapter in our lives, to start this next 12-year cycle of growth, of abundance, of expansion, of luck and joy, all the things that Jupiter rules. So, what happened when you were 12? If you can recall back to when you were about 12 years old, so often when we're looking at our Jupiter returns, it can be helpful to look back at what happened when we were 12, when we were 24, and if you're like me and you're approaching 36 in the next few years, then you've only got those first two Jupiter returns to look at. But maybe if you're a bit older, maybe you can recall what happened when you were 36 or when you were 48 and so forth. So usually around this year in our lives, in these 12-year cycles, we will go through a period of growth where one chapter will close. There'll be an ending of that last chapter of 12 years, and a new chapter will open for the next 12 years of our life. So what happened when you were 12? So what commonly happens around the age of 12, it's the year before we become a teenager. Often, at least here in Australia, it's the end of what we call primary school, and the 12-year-olds are then starting to transition into high school. So there's this huge thing of growth that's happening for a lot of 12-year-olds here in Australia, and I'm not sure about the schooling systems in other areas of the world, but you may have something similar where 12-year-olds are collectively being transferred from one part of the school to another part of the school, or transitioning onto the next part of their schooling journey. So that is something that I feel is quite obvious that happens around the age of 12 with our first Jupiter return. Something else that happens around the age of 12 is that we often have a bit of a growth spurt during that time. For particularly girls, 12-year-old girls, puberty can start coming on around the age of 12. Or we might be becoming aware, maybe our friends are reaching puberty and we're like, oh, where's my boobs? Where's my period? That type of thing. So 12, our first Jupiter return, is often quite an intense time of our lives. But being 12, we often don't really think about it because we're 12 and we're often not quite that aware. But maybe by the time you've reached your second Jupiter return around age 24, you might begin to see these 12-year cycles of something happening in your life every 12 years. So something that quite often happens for 24-year-olds is that they will maybe decide to go on a new adventure, often around age 24, at least here in Australia. Uh, I want to say kids, but they're not even kids, they're 24-year-olds. They've finished university and they are going on to the next chapter of their lives. They are maybe getting employment after studying for so many years, or maybe they're transitioning into a new job, or some 24-year-olds, and this was more so the case with me, is that they're beginning to understand more about what they actually want to do. And they will enter university as mature age students, or maybe go down another studying path. And that's actually what I did during my second Jupiter return. I remember I studied a certificate for in bookkeeping. Why? I don't know. Yeah, anyway, completely irrelevant to like everything I'm doing now. But anyway, this sort of stuff happens. You go through these cycles and there's these new opportunities that open up for you with these Jupiter returns. So as you've maybe gone down your own little trip through memory lane, thinking back to what happened when you were 12 and 24 during your first and second Jupiter return, then maybe now as you're approaching 36, you might be beginning to understand what to expect for your third Jupiter return. So what you can do to find out more about what to expect on your Jupiter return, whether you're coming up to age 36 or maybe looking back and trying to figure out, what actually happened when you were 12 and 24? Like, what is this cycle of growth that I'm talking about? Maybe you haven't been able to figure it out yet. So a really good way to understand more about your Jupiter return is to have a look on your natal chart and find where Jupiter is on your chart. Find out what zodiac sign and what house Jupiter is in, because these two bits of information will tell you a lot about what to expect for your Jupiter returns. And yeah, it might help you understand a bit more about your past Jupiter returns as well. So if you don't already have a natal chart, you can bring up one for free at websites like astro.com or astro-charts.com, or just Google it, free natal chart. You will find many, many websites that offer this. So once you have your natal chart, you'll need to find Jupiter. And I feel like Jupiter kind of looks like the number 4, but kind of like with a bit of a squiggle, but it kind of looks like the number 4. So if you're not sure which one's Jupiter, you're looking at all those astrology glyphs on the natal chart. It's the one that kind of looks like a number 4, but with kind of a curve at the start. So yeah, find Jupiter on your chart, and I am going to go through all of the houses and the zodiac signs and what that means for you if your Jupiter falls in that house or zodiac sign, and what that could mean about the next chapter opening in your life on your next Jupiter return. So if Jupiter is in your first house, the first house is all to do with appearance as well as our physical selves. So if your Jupiter is in your first house, then during your Jupiter returns, you might notice some significant changes to do with your appearance. Often during these 12-year cycles, you may get this kind of like overwhelming desire to change how you look. Cutting your hair, dyeing your hair, maybe really reinventing yourself through what you wear, through how you appear to the outside world. There's a lot of shifts that can happen there with your appearance. And this could also be to do with like your physical body. Maybe you'll go through like some rapid transformation of losing weight or gaining weight, which is perfect too, by the way. It's a natural thing that can happen during stages of our lives. So if you're approaching 36 and noticing that, your appearance is maybe getting a bit bigger, remember, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's just a normal thing. And maybe, during your Jupiter cycle, you can work on that if that's an issue for you. If Jupiter is in your first house, then those themes that could be coming up for you are your appearance and physical growth. So if Jupiter is in your second house, then what this can bring up for you during your Jupiter returns are issues to do with money, with romances and possessions. So this can be a really powerful time of your life during these 12-year cycles of manifesting those physical things that you want to bring into your life, those physical desires. So whether that is more money, or maybe you'll find that during those times you'll maybe make a big purchase, buy a house or a car or something like that. It's a really powerful time for you to bring in those physical things into your life. So if Jupiter is in your third house, then these 12-year cycles of growth will be really affecting your social life as well as the connections that you make with others. So this could be a really important time of your life where you're connecting with more people. You're expanding your social networks. You're expanding your reach. You're getting to know more people. Maybe you're talking to more people, connecting with more or different groups of people. You'll really notice that for you, for your Jupiter returns, that this will mostly affect your social life and those connections with that. So if your Jupiter is in your fourth house, then your Jupiter returns will greatly affect your home and family life. So what will really come into your focus is your personal life rather than like your work or striving to be the best in your career. Your Jupiter return will help you focus more on having a lucky and abundant personal life. So maybe during your Jupiter returns, if your Jupiter's in your fourth house, this could see an expansion of your family. Maybe you'll have a baby during this time, or your family will grow in some other way. Maybe nieces or nephews or pets even. Or maybe, as this is to do with your home, maybe this could be a time when you move into a new house or you find yourself in a new home. Or maybe you're doing home renovations, you're expanding your home. So if Jupiter is in your fifth house, then your Jupiter returns will really spark off that fifth house energy of creativity and fun and play. This time of your life is a really important time for finding more fun and play rather than being so serious all the time. This can also really bring out your creativity and be a really good time for working on passion projects or creative projects where you're free to just follow your own freedom, your creative freedom, and make what you desire. If Jupiter is in your sixth house, then your Jupiter returns will really focus on your health and your daily routines. So when Jupiter comes back to your natal Jupiter in your sixth house, then this could be a really positive opportunity to work on your health. If there's been health issues, then this could really be a positive new chapter for your health, for turning over a new leaf with your health, for overcoming any health issues, for healing yourself. And if Jupiter is in your seventh house, then your Jupiter returns will bring a focus on your close relationships and how you give and receive support. So if Jupiter is in your seventh house, then your Jupiter returns may really bring a deepening to your close relationships. Maybe you'll find your soulmate when you're going through a Jupiter return in your seventh house. Or maybe you'll start a new relationship. Or maybe you'll just have some really supportive people in your life, like mentors or close friends or other people who are close to you. The key word here with the seventh house is close relationships, as opposed to how we were talking before about the third house and like your social life. Those connections aren't really as deep and meaningful as what's going on with the seventh house. So yeah, for those of you with Jupiter in the seventh house, then yeah, a really positive time for those close relationships, for deepening those relationships, or maybe having a new start with a relationship. For those with Jupiter in the eighth house, then when you're going through your Jupiter returns, it's really going to be focusing on things like your business and finances, as well as overcoming fears. The eighth house can really dive deep into the things that hold us back, such as our fears or like our like our subconscious beliefs, even our limiting beliefs that may be holding us back. So when Jupiter is going through your 8th house as part of your Jupiter return, then this could be a really positive opportunity for overcoming those fears, overcoming those limiting beliefs, and stepping into your full power. If your Jupiter return is happening in your 9th house, the 9th house is all to do with study and travel. So this could really be a positive time during your Jupiter return to start new studies or to maybe travel, go on a new adventure. You may be feeling called to even explore a new spiritual path during your Jupiter returns, as the 9th house is also a lot to do with our spiritual journey and finding a deeper meaning to life, finding our own philosophy on life. If your Jupiter is in your 10th house, then your Jupiter return will focus on your career and how you can create a deeper impact in the world. So if Jupiter is coming through your 10th house during your Jupiter return, this could be a really positive time for maybe making a new start in your career or coming to a new chapter in your career, applying for that promotion, or maybe taking that next step in your career. If Jupiter is in your 11th house, then your Jupiter return will focus on those 11th house themes of community and friendships. So this could be a really positive time in your life during your Jupiter returns to connect with community groups, to get out and about, to meet new people, connect with different groups of people, to expand your friendships, to expand your wider networks. With the 11th house energy, it's also about making the world a better place for others and bringing together groups of people. So you may even want to start your own groups, or maybe be involved with charities or volunteering your time or resources to help make the world a better place for everyone. And if Jupiter is in your 12th house on your natal chart, then your Jupiter returns will be really focusing on spirituality and making time for rest. So the 12th house is all to do with really stepping back and looking at the bigger picture and reconnecting to the deeper purpose of your life. So what will often happen for you during your Jupiter returns during the 12th house is that you'll find that maybe you need to have big rest from your day-to-day life, from your career, from your work, from everything, because you really just need to disconnect from everything so that you can reconnect and feel recharged and renewed. So you may like to take a year-long sabbatical. You may like to take your long service leave. You may like to resign and just take off a year to just do whatever you want because maybe your career just isn't feeling fulfilling anymore. So yeah, if Jupiter's in your 12th house, take the opportunity with your Jupiter returns to step back, to take a break, and to rediscover what it is that you really want to do with your life. So that's Jupiter through all the 12 houses. So that's just one aspect of what to look at when looking at your Jupiter return and the sort of energy that that will bring. So the other thing that we're going to look at next is what zodiac sign your Jupiter is in, and finding out more about what your Jupiter return means. And if you're getting to this point and you're kind of like, Kyra, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know about astrology. I just want to know what's coming up when I turn 36. Don't forget that you can always book in for a reading with me. I do tarot and astrology readings where I look at your chart. I'll do a forecast for you, look at what's coming up with your Jupiter return or any other astrological transits that are relevant for you, and I'll find the answers to your questions. So if you want to know if this is a good year for investing or for starting new studies or for traveling or whatever it might be, we can find the answers through looking at your astrology chart and asking the tarot cards. So you'll find all the information to book your reading in the link below in the show notes. If if this is all feeling a bit complicated and you're not exactly sure what it means, feel free to book in for a reading and I will help you spell it out exactly what energy is coming up for you on your next Jupiter return and to everything else. So let's dive in to what Jupiter through the 12 zodiac signs means for you and your Jupiter return. So if your Jupiter is in Aries, so remember we're talking about your natal Jupiter, because your Jupiter return is when Jupiter will come back to that same sign that your Jupiter was in when you were born. So if you have a natal Jupiter in Aries, then your Jupiter return will really help you start new things and be enthusiastic to take initiative towards starting something new in your life. You won't want to wait. You'll want to just dive into it. You will see this new opportunity opening up for you, and you will just dive into it without even thinking it through in your typical Aries style. So Jupiter in Aries, yeah, on your Saturn returns, take that opportunity, dive in, don't wait, take initiative, take that first move, and just dive in and follow your heart. If Jupiter is in Taurus for your Jupiter return, then what's going to happen for your Jupiter return is that there might be this more sort of slow and steady energy to this new chapter that's opening up for you. You may have been working really hard and diligently over the past 12 years, and you may be feeling like that chapter's coming to an end. So your next chapter, it might again have that slow and steady sort of feel to it as you begin to explore it in your own time. Jupiter in Taurus will really focus on quality over quantity. So you will want to really go into it with that slowness to ensure that you are doing everything properly rather than just rushing through and doing something crappy. So Jupiter in Taurus will really focus on nourishing and being careful rather than just, rushing through and burning out. If your natal Jupiter is in Gemini, then your Jupiter return is really going to bring to your spotlight, bring to your focus your social connections as well as collaborating with others. Your Jupiter return could really bring a positive opportunity for working with other people to achieve a mutual goal. So you may find that this is a really good time of your life to team up with someone, to collaborate with other people, to have those joint ventures going on where you can both work together to achieve something that you both desire. A new opportunity coming up for you if you have Jupiter in Gemini to work with other people, to collaborate, or maybe to grow your connections, grow your reach. If your natal Jupiter is in Cancer, then your Jupiter return will really bring up the themes of nurturing others and bringing more comfort into your life. So maybe if things have been feeling a bit uncomfortable, then your Jupiter return will help you maybe, get rid of the things that don't feel good anymore so that you can bring in the things that do feel good. It's a really good time of your life for realigning with the things that make you feel good, that nurture you, that nourish you, that comfort you, rather than just putting up with stuff that doesn't feel good anymore. With Jupiter in Cancer, you may be quite sensitive as well, so you'll really be able to feel into those things and feel what doesn't feel aligned anymore, so that you will know when the time comes that those are the things that you need to let go of so that you can open up this new chapter and bring more of that nurturing energy into your life. So if your Jupiter is in Leo, your Jupiter return will really bring creativity into your focus. This could be a really fun time of your life to follow a passion project or creative project, to make something, to be creative. And remembering that your Jupiter return, it starts a 12-year cycle. So it may not necessarily be that you will want to make something in just while you're going through your Jupiter return. It may be something that you make and you continue to work on over those 12 years, or you make it, during that time. Like, for example, you might make a tarot deck as an example, and you'll continue to sell that tarot deck for the next 12 years. So something there where you can create something, where you can go with a passion project and pour your heart into something, and it is going to be a big part of that 12-year cycle for you for the next 12 years ahead. Jupiter in Leo can also be to do with fun and games and children. So these things may also be quite important with your Jupiter return, whether that's, having something to do with children in your life, having children or working with children or having other children somehow come into your life, and being able to connect with your inner child as well is something that could be really important for you during your Jupiter return. So if your natal Jupiter is in Virgo, then your Jupiter returns are all going to be about your daily rituals and routines. So this is possibly going to bring up things to do with your health, and those like habits that you're doing every day. Maybe those habits aren't serving your health. Maybe they may not be helping you shine to your fullest potential. So Jupiter in Virgo, when you're going through your Jupiter return, this is a really good opportunity for you to weed out those bad habits and to start some more positive daily habits that will support you to your highest potential. If Jupiter is in Libra for you, then your Jupiter returns are going to help you step into a new chapter of supporting others harmoniously and to create more beauty within your life. So with Jupiter in Libra, you really love it when everyone around you is, in harmony with each other. You hate it when there's conflict around. So with your Jupiter return, I'm sure that you're going to be doing the best you can to ensure that everything around you is in harmony, that everything around you is beautiful and calm and peaceful. And if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my God, there's like just not much peace in my life, then this is a sign to to really bring that peace into your life however you can. Maybe it's just through the little touches, like buying fresh flowers for your home, or playing some softer, calmer music, or just, getting rid of anything that just feels too chaotic in your life, saying no to chaotic obligations so that you can feel more aligned and harmonious within your life for this new chapter that's opening for you. If your Jupiter is in Scorpio, your Jupiter returns are really going to help you understand why. Scorpio is like the problem solver, the detective of the zodiac signs. So with your Jupiter return happening in Scorpio, what's going to happen is that it's really going to help you understand why things have been happening. It's going to help you solve those problems and dig deep into the root of what's going on within your life. So again, that might depend on what house that's in for you on your chart as to specifically what problems or what you're going to be investigating, but your Jupiter return will definitely have you probing and investigating and questioning so that you can, be the detective of your life. If your Jupiter is in Sagittarius, then your Jupiter return is really going to spark a new adventure for you. This Sagittarius energy is about going on a journey, going on an adventure. So whether this is like actually going on a physical journey, traveling, or maybe a journey of the mind, maybe, studying or expanding your perspective on something, this is a really important time of your life for deepening your meaning of your life, for maybe developing more of a philosophy on life and understanding more about, those deeper questions to life, like what is the meaning of life? You'll find more of your answer throughout your Jupiter returns to do with that. And if your Jupiter is in the sign of Capricorn, then your focus during your Jupiter returns is going to be on your long-term goals. So with Jupiter in Capricorn, naturally you are so ambitious and you really love it when you have these long-term goals to work towards. And so I feel like what's going to happen during your Jupiter returns is that you'll be thinking forward to what's this new chapter in your life for the next 12 years? Where do you want to be in 12 years from now? and you'll be able to start creating a strategy so that in 12 years time you can manifest that goal and be where you want to be. So kind of feel like if your Jupiter's in Capricorn, that your Jupiter return is like a 12-year meeting with yourself and setting those new long-term goals for where you want to go in your life, what you want to grow, what you want to manifest, and that sort of thing. So if your Jupiter is in Aquarius, then your Jupiter returns are really going to help you rebel against the norm to find a different path to walk, rather than feeling like you have to do what everyone else tells you to do or what others expect you to do. Your Jupiter return is really going to help you step outside the box and carve your own path. And this can be a really positive time of rebellion, but also celebrating what makes you unique. And yeah, just shining your unique light into the world. With the Aquarian energy as well, your Jupiter return may also help you understand how you can help make the world a better place for everyone. So maybe there'll be a bit of more selfless opportunities coming up for you, opportunities to help others, maybe opportunities to be connected with different community groups or other things where you can make a difference to other people's lives. And then finally, if your Jupiter is in Pisces, then this energy of your Jupiter return is all about dreaming of a brighter future, dreaming big about how you can be more creative and expand your vision of what you'd like to manifest in the world. So Jupiter in Pisces can be a real sort of dreamy, creative energy where, you know, maybe you'll just be imagining these things, envisioning the world that you want to create. And this is perfect. Dream big. Use your imagination during your Jupiter return. Really, like, dream as big as you can, because the sky is the limit. And yeah, consider how you can bring more of that magic into the world. So there we have it. We've been through all 12 houses and all 12 zodiac signs and how that's going to affect your Jupiter return. So piece together those pieces of the puzzle, your Jupiter house and your Jupiter zodiac sign, to understand more about what to expect for your next Jupiter return. And also remember to look back and see how that energy may have affected your previous Jupiter returns, those 12-year cycles. So when you were 12 and when you were 24 and so on. So if you are turning 36 in the near future, have a beautiful third Jupiter return. I'm so excited for you for this new chapter that's opening in your life. What a beautiful time, right? I'm so excited to hear about what happens during your Jupiter return. Feel free to drop a comment below if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening elsewhere. Hi. If you're listening elsewhere and you don't have a comment function, feel free to jump over onto Instagram or Facebook. You'll find me at kyrahowearth.official. Feel free to let me know what's come up for you during your Jupiter return. Maybe looking back to what's happened in your previous Jupiter returns or what's coming up as you turn 36. Is there something that's coming up for you in this Jupiter return that you can already feel that's opening up for you? Let me know. I'd love to know. And don't forget, if you do want more personalized information about what's going to come up with your Jupiter return or any other astrological transit in your life, feel free to book a reading with me. My books are open. You can click through the link in the show notes now to book a reading and discover more about your natal chart and what to expect for your future. All right, I will see you in the next episode of the Moon Manifesting Podcast. Stay magical, stay manifesting, and stay tuned. I'll speak with you really soon.